The digital battlefield is now official. For months, the whispers have been getting louder, a deep, persistent hum beneath the surface of the tech world, suggesting that the seemingly invincible giant, OpenAI, was vulnerable. The air was thick with the scent of a competitor closing in, and that competitor was Google, fueled by the staggering capabilities of its Gemini models. But whispers have now become a battle cry. In a move that sends shockwaves across Silicon Valley, OpenAI has just thrown down the gauntlet. They didn't just iterate, they escalated. They fired a powerful, calculated shot directly back at Google with the launch of their latest, most formidable creation, GPT-5.2. This isn't just another incremental update. This is the code red model. This is the calculated, all-in response to the internal crisis memo released by CEO Sam Altman, a memo that reportedly shook the company to its core, acknowledging that ChatGPT was losing consumer market share and facing a significant traffic decline. Altman's directive was clear: stall all peripheral projects, even lucrative ones like introducing ads, and pour every ounce of focus into creating a demonstrably better, undeniable ChatGPT experience. GPT 5.2 is the first massive public manifestation of that intense do-or-die shift in priorities. To understand the sheer weight of this moment, we have to look at the immediate context. This model arrives smack in the middle of a brutal, unforgiving AI arms race. For the first time since the revolutionary debut of ChatGPT, OpenAI found itself looking up. Google's Gemini 3 has been relentlessly climbing LM Arena's leaderboard, conquering most major benchmarks and creating an unsettling narrative that the initial AI leader might be getting overtaken. The pressure on OpenAI was immense, the stakes astronomical. So, how exactly does GPT 5.2 plan to reclaim the throne? It doesn't come as one monolithic entity. It arrives as a targeted arsenal, specifically designed to address the deepest, most complex pain points for developers and professionals. OpenAI is offering GPT 5.2 in 3 distinct flavors, each optimized for a specific type of cognitive load. First, there is Instant. Think of this as the lightning-fast sprinter of the family. It is speed-optimized for routine, high-volume queries. Translating a document, drafting a quick email, seeking a simple piece of information. It prioritizes velocity and efficiency. Second, the true heavyweight, Thinking. This is where the core of OpenAI's renewed ambition lies. Thinking is built for complex, structured work, the kind of tasks that separate an advanced tool from a true partner. We're talking about high-stakes coding, the rigorous analysis of monumental documents, advanced mathematical problem-solving, and intricate multi-step planning. This model is designed to sit alongside a software engineer, a financial analyst, or a research scientist. And finally, the Elite, Pro. This is the top-end offering, engineered for maximum accuracy and ultimate reliability when tackling the most difficult, ambiguous, and critical problems. When failure is simply not an option, you deploy Pro. OpenAI's Chief Product Officer, Fidji Simo, stated plainly during the launch briefing that GPT 5.2 was designed explicitly to unlock even more economic value for people. The pitch is clear. This model is demonstrably better at everything that generates enterprise revenue. It creates better spreadsheets. It builds more compelling presentations. It writes cleaner, more production-ready code. It perceives and interprets images with greater depth. It handles massive, long-context reasoning with fewer errors. And crucially, it excels at using tools and linking complex, multi-step projects together. This is a direct, head-on challenge to Google's agentic workflow ecosystem, where Gemini 3 has been deeply integrated into the Google Cloud and product environment. The most electrifying aspect of this launch, however, is the direct benchmark confrontation. OpenAI isn't just claiming improvement, they are publishing charts that set the industry standard on fire. GPT-5.2, particularly in its thinking mode, reportedly sets new benchmark scores across the board. Coding, math, science, vision, long context reasoning, and tool use. The goal? To enable truly reliable agentic workflows. Systems that don't just chat, but actively operate and execute complex tasks in the real world. This capability puts it in direct competition with Gemini 3's much-hyped Deep Think mode. On OpenAI's own comparative charts, the GPT-5.2 thinking model edges out both Gemini 3 and Anthropic's formidable Claude Opus 4.5 in nearly every listed reasoning test. We're talking about tangible, high-level metrics like real-world software engineering tasks on the SWE Bench Pro, the deep doctoral-level science knowledge required for GPT-2A Diamond, and the abstract reasoning and pattern discovery challenges of the AR-CAGI suites. Aidan Clark, OpenAI's research lead, underscored the significance of these stronger scores, particularly in math. He explained that this isn't merely about solving an equation. Mathematical reasoning is the ultimate proxy for a model's capacity to follow multi-step logic, maintain numerical consistency over long periods, and most importantly, avoid those subtle, tiny errors that inevitably compound into catastrophic failures down the line. These properties, Clark emphasized, are foundational. They matter across every conceivable workload, from financial modeling and complex forecasting to deep data analysis. In this light, the improved math score isn't a niche achievement. It's a testament to the model's fundamental reliability and trustworthiness. OpenAI product lead Max Schwartzer elaborated on the model's performance boost, specifically in the realm of development. He confirmed that GPT-5.2 delivers substantial improvements to code generation and debugging, complete with the ability to walk through complex math and logic step by step. Coding startups like Windsurf and Charlie Code are already reporting state-of-the-art agent coding performance and measurable gains on complicated multi-step workflows, the exact terrain where agents live and die. The overall narrative Schwartzer presented was one of quality control. He claimed that GPT-5.2 thinking responses contain a staggering 38% fewer errors than its predecessor. This single statistic is perhaps the most compelling pitch to the enterprise market, making the model exponentially more dependable for crucial day-to-day decision-making, high-stakes research, and professional writing. Interestingly, GPT-5.2 appears to be less a radical reinvention and more of a masterclass in consolidation and refinement. It draws heavily on the advancements laid down in the two previous models. GPT-5, released back in August, was the initial reset, the groundwork for a unified system featuring a router that could toggle between a fast default model and the deeper analytical thinking mode. November's GPT 5.1 then focused on making that system more personable, warmer, and better suited for advanced agentic and coding tasks. GPT 5.2, therefore, turns the dial up on all these combined advancements, creating a far more stable, reliable, and powerful foundation for production use. For OpenAI, the stakes have transcended mere market share. They are now tied to existential survival. The company has publicly committed to the tune of $1.4 trillion for AI infrastructure build-outs over the coming years to sustain its projected growth trajectory. These commitments were made during a period when OpenAI enjoyed an undeniable, virtually unchallenged first-mover advantage. But Google's late, aggressive surge, coupled with the reported decline in ChatGPT traffic, transforms that trillion-dollar bet from a forward-looking strategy into a source of immense pressure. The very pressure that drove Altman's code red internal panic. OpenAI's renewed total focus on these resource-intensive reasoning models, like thinking and deep research, is a risky flex. The systems powering these deep analytical modes are inherently more expensive to run than standard chatbots because they simply chew through far more compute cycles. By doubling down on this high-cost model with GPT-5.2, OpenAI may be setting itself up for a self-feeding, vicious cycle. You must spend more on compute to win the public benchmark leaderboard, but then you must spend even more to keep those high-cost, high-performance models running reliably at the necessary scale. And there are strong indications that this compute cost is already a major headwind. Reports recently surfaced suggesting that most of OpenAI's inference spend, the immense capital required to run a trained AI model for users, is now being paid in cold, hard cash, rather than being subsidized by partner cloud credits. This suggests that the company's compute costs have ballooned beyond the capacity of existing partnerships and credits to absorb.